Happy Wednesday, everybody. Jim and Amadeus in the house. And it is a soccer and college basketball Wednesday. And also, the Netherlands beat Cuba in baseball. There's a stunner, huh?
Yeah. Open up the tournament with a shock.
Yeah, Clockwork Orange is in baseball. How about that? So I remember they had who was it that they had on the first team that they had in the world? I think it was Bert Blylev was on that first team that in the World Baseball Classic. I mean, he was about 45, but he was there. Yeah, they've had some guys, and you know where it works is there's 3 or 4 Caribbean islands that are Dutch. And so like Carousel and that sort of thing. So there's there's a way through that pipeline that you can get some guys who are, absolutely, ringers. And you're thinking, how did they get here from, it's Dutch, it's like, yeah, well, those islands are Dutch. So they take it that route. So, it is what it is. The rules.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, wow.
Yeah, 4-2.
I said the same thing. I said when I saw Italy in the hockey tournament, I said I didn't even know the Dutch played baseball.
Well, evidently they do. And my understanding is that the place will be packed when Japan plays. I think it's later tonight. Otani is going to be on the mound for that one. So that's playing in Tokyo, Otani on the mound. I hate those. What do they call it? Those thunder sticks. Can you imagine 50,000 people with thunder sticks?
Oh yeah, that one. I think that one's like in the middle of the night over here. If you're looking to watch it, you're gonna be up.
Take a nap. Yeah,
2 a.m. or something.
Yeah, take a nap after the show. Take a nap after the show. Because definitely. So what's going on soccer-wise? You got the scoreboard up there, buddy?
Yeah. So today's big Champions League day. Obviously, yesterday we will recap those games. So as I predicted, Chelsea with the 2-0 win to go through to the next round. I did say an offensive explosion, and you know what? It was the first time they scored more than 1 goal in a game all year.
Yes, so that counts as an offensive explosion.
For Chelsea, absolutely, that's an offensive explosion. But I'm telling you, it could have been 5-0. They had a few goals taken away. If Sterling learns to not lean his entire body over when he's making his run, that's the thing, right? Like a lot of guys have kind of pulled back. But Sterling's when you see the line, he's like this across it because he's got his whole upper body leaning forward.
Well, he kind of is one of those guys who's in a sprint race in track and field where you want to lean forward because it may be your head that wins it for you. That's not the case in soccer. You want to lean back and toe it in.
Exactly. And you know what? He's fast. He can get behind the defender, but it means nothing if you're behind too early. So, there was a few of those, but if he cleans it up, they're looking like a dangerous team now.
2-0 is an offensive explosion. We count that.
Yes, for a lot of soccer matches. Really. There's some teams you're lucky if you can get a goal out of them, let alone 2. But
that's right.
Yeah, and then the other one yesterday was Benfica absolutely destroyed Club Brugge. They won 5-1, which ended up being 7-1 on aggregate, but that could have been worse. It could have been 12-1. They had that goal taken away in the first 2 minutes. Then there was they were hitting posts. They were just missing the net in the first 20 minutes. They could have scored 5 goals right there. It was
the keeper looked like he was, shell-shocked after about the third goal. It's take me out, please.
Yeah, and I think because before that, it had literally been bang, 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 bang to the point where it was oh my God, I got saved by a post. Oh, that just missed. Oh, it was he had seen so many good chances that when it finally went in, he was I can't. They scored 1 goal, but it feels like this is
going to be Well, I mean, he's got PSD. I mean, they put him on the side, and he's just like, you have to talk him down. But yeah, it's crazy. But that 5-1, 2-0. We've got games where offense ruled the day.
Yeah, definitely. And that was the thing about Benfica too, is they had the 2-0 lead, and they went out there and said, it's okay, we're gonna win 5-0. So they like to put a show on, that's for sure.
Well, they did. Hey, it's like, if you can make it happen, make it happen, right?
Yeah. So now we got today's great games. Now there's my crappy AC Milan going up against Tottenham. And believe it or not, that even though that is the Premier League match, I doubt that will be the one that CBS is showing, because we have PSG and Bayern Munich in.
Well, that is the game CBS is showing.
Yes, and that is two monsters. Even though there's not a Premier League team in that matchup, two monster teams there.
Let me take you back to the game when they played, earlier. And Amadeus, you said at that point in time that you would not want to be Bayern Munich going home, because PSG is going to smoke you when you get back there. There's no way they're going to lose. So
yeah,
that was then. This is now. Same thought.
I stand by my statement. I know Neymar's out, but me and Sean talked about it earlier in the week on the show about how Neymar is a replaceable player on that team. Mbappe and Messi are not. And if you have Mbappe starting in this game from the start, it just brings a whole nother level of pace to this attack. It's Bayern Munich. Like I outlined yesterday, they can come out two ways in this game. They can come out the way they should, which you're not safe with a 1-0 lead, and you should go out there and try to win it still, add another goal. But if they do that, they don't have a very good defense. And with the speed that Mbappe brings to that attack, they could easily see themselves getting opened up. And then there's the other way. If they try to sit back on defense and defend their 1-0 lead because they're at home, well, they don't have the defense to do that. So it doesn't look like a fun matchup for them today.
What is PSG has got speed on the left side. But that's not a bad thing. It's just because, you get the ball down there. But are there teams that are left-handed and right-handed? Well, shouldn't say that. Left pitch, left right pitch. It seems like on the left side, that ball moves a whole lot faster than it does on the right side.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it all goes towards the players you have on the field, right?
Sure.
Man United is another one where you have Rashford playing on the left a lot. So, and Garnacho also has a lot of speed. So it doesn't matter who's in there. There's always a lot of speed coming down on the left versus the right-hand side, where the talent is just as good because you have Anthony on that side, but he's more of a finesser. So you're going to get him. He's going to stop. He's going to try and slow it down. He's going to try and curl one in from outside the box at a ridiculous angle. So that's just, you get the two sides. And France actually did this very well in the World Cup because they had two players. They had Mbappe on the left, but then they had Dembele on the right. Or it might have been the opposite way. I can't remember. But basically, they would spend the entire first half running everything through Dembele on the one side.
Right.
And then they had Mr. Griezmann in the middle as basically the playmaker. He was
like Steph Curry.
Yeah, he was controlling the whole pitch for them. And then in the second half, when the team had adjusted, like, we're getting burned with Dembele here. We need some more protection on that side. We got to try and defend better. Didn't run a single ball down that way. It was all through Mbappe on the next side. So. Or it might have been the opposite way. It was through Mbappe the first side. But yeah, the point is they turned it around on you, and you didn't have an answer because you adjusted to the side you were having trouble with in the first half. But then they come out and hit you with the speed in the second. So absolutely, and that's why you'll see in a lot of these games that it comes out with like a 2-0 explosion, or there's a lot of goals in the first half, and then we get to halftime and there's not a single goal in the second half when it looked like it was going to be a high scoring game, because the team adjusts and they try to, shut down what the other team was doing. And so, yeah, you could try to do that on PSG because there's a lot more down the left, but I don't think Bayern has the defense. Even if you want to like bulk up that side a bit, you don't have the players to keep up with him.
You brought up a good point, and that is that on one side is speed, the other side is finesse, right? So you may be able to stop the speed, but at the same time, you're cheating on the finesse. So that's not I've seen it in hockey where you've got all the speeds on one side or the other, right? But to your point, the finesse guys are on the, if the speed's on the left, you got the guys who can, poach on the right. They're usually the guys who can take the shot from from basically the blue line and knock it in because they've got that shot.
Exactly.
So, so that's what we're going to see with PSG and Byron at the top of the hour, I guess, at 3:00. So on CBS, for those of you in the United States, where are they going to watch it on in Canada?
DAZN.
DAZN, right? Okay.
Yeah.
DAZN. Okay. By the way, if you're watching basketball today, you got two choices, really. If you don't have a subscription, take a 7-day trial of SLING or Fubo, and you'll get all the basketball that you want. And we've been watching the scoreboard for that.
I got Fubo TV.
There you go.
That's how I watch Premier League.
There you go. And Wake Forest beat Syracuse. The Orangemen lose to the Deacons by a score of 77-74. That just went final. Davidson, 64. St. Bonnie, 54. Early in the Mountain West first game, Colorado State, which had been pretty good in years past, not this one. They're the 8th seed, and they are beating Fresno by a score of 8-4 very early in the game. Atlantic 10. It's Richmond 6. It's George Mason 4. Coming up in a few minutes at the ACC tournament, it's number 5 seed Pitt and Georgia Tech. The SWAC tournament, Grambling is going to play BCU. Big East starting at 3:00. It's St. John's and Butler. And the PAC also starts at 3:00. Washington, Colorado. You can not watch that game if you don't want to. There's nothing to watch there. Mountain West, that's a tournament that's going to be interesting. UNLV and Air Force, and then the Southland tournament at 5:00 is Texas A&M, Corpus Christi. They're the number 1 seed, and that's, by the way, the championship, a game against Northwest State, and that's that game's at 5:00. All the others are coming tonight. I'm looking to see if there's a game on here that is a must-see tonight. I'm looking. I don't see it so far.
All the good ones are tomorrow. Tomorrow, that's when you start to get UConn, Providence, Kansas, and Texas will be playing the winners of today's Big 12 games: Oklahoma State, and the other one. What is it? West Virginia and Texas Tech or whatever. Yeah.
There's. I'm trying to find if there's even a championship game tonight. If it's worthwhile. No.
Yeah, like the best teams, honestly, I hate to say it, the best teams today are pretty much in the Pac-12. You get Utah and Arizona State later tonight.
Yeah, that was
terrible.
Going to be an interesting one because Arizona State's on the bubble, and you could make a case that Utah's got the quality. Arizona's got the quality. Arizona State's getting. Both those teams have the quality to actually win the tournament, but they're not deep. And but in those kind of tournaments, you never know. Get hot, and they both have good guard play. I will say this: Utah has played horrible defense at times, and they also have had droughts of scoring. You can't have droughts of scoring in tournament games. I mean, you just can't. You cannot go, shy for 6 minutes and not score a point. It just, you'll be watching from the stands the next day. So
yeah, and that's probably why they're a pick 'em against Stanford tonight, which I found very interesting because I thought Utah was the better team, but I know Stanford's been playing better lately.
Stanford will score. Okay, they've got a set way to score. They have an offense. Stanford does not play defense well.
Oh, so they're like an NBA team.
That's the problem. It is Stanford will score points, but they will not. They can't stop you.
Those players are ready for the NBA already.
Yeah, if they were just taller. They're not fast though. I mean, they play like it's not like a Princeton thing, but it's very much a cut and run around, and shoot and pass the ball type thing.
Try to confuse the opponent.
Yeah,
you don't know where the ball is going.
You definitely get the ball movement there. So they're fun to watch, but they're not. They lose a lot of games in the last 5 minutes because they just simply can't. They simply can't score. I'm sorry, they can't keep the other team from scoring. And let's see who we got here. Foxy. It's a very straightforward day. Champions League, Chelsea. I'll be more comfortable when
offensive explosion, Foxy. There was that offensive explosion I was talking about. Yes,
and Dortmund offered nothing.
We're calling 2 goals an offensive explosion because it is.
When they haven't scored 2 goals in the season, in a game, then that's an offensive explosion.
I think you can agree with that, Foxy. That was an offensive explosion for Chelsea. There, one was a retaken penalty kick, but we'll take it any way we can get it.
Yeah, hey, they don't ask how, they just ask how many.
So. But when Havertz hit the post on the first try for that penalty, that was the last straw for me. He's trash. He needs to be off the team. I can't believe they let him take the retake.
Well, yeah, if he hits the post, you can think.
Because Joao Felix wanted to take it originally, and then after Havertz missed, I don't know how Felix doesn't come in and say, hell no, you're not taking it.
Give me that ball. Just stay away. It's like, it's, I don't know. I mean, it's a very large goal. I don't understand how you hit the post.
What's crazy is him specifically, that was like his 4th post that night. He just keeps hitting the post. He even had a goal taken away for a Sterling offside that went off the crossbar and in the net.
So it's gotta nick the pine or he's not getting it. Okay.
And it was a very nice goal. I think that's why he wanted to take the penalty. He's like, hell no, I had my bar down goal taken away. I'm taking this penalty. And it's like, man, you hit the post the first time and the goalie didn't even go that way. Like, please, you're not taking this again.
Don't get in my way.
But, he scored, so, I mean, good on him, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Better, I guess.
I think if anything, he made himself look worse yesterday, but.
By the way, Panama beat China's Taipei by a score 12-5 as we're talking about the
yeah, I noticed that one was like 12-4. So the mercy rules definitely got to be like 10.
Yeah, it is 10. Yes. Australia, Korea, 10 o'clock this evening on FS1.
That one I think is going to be a good one.
And that'll be followed. No, actually on FS2. It's Panama, who won last night, facing the Netherlands, who won last night. So, that is what you're looking for in today's baseball classic. So, got 2 games tonight. Like you said earlier, after the show, take a nap because they don't start until late, 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock.
Yeah, and then the Japan one you were talking about, I think that one's at like 5 a.m. or something like that. So
yeah, I'll tell you what it is. Hold on.
It's like World Cup all over again. It's waking up at 5 a.m. I think. Who else?
China and Japan No, it's not China. It's, yeah, it is China.
Yeah, I thought I saw China play too.
China, it's 5 a.m. on FS1. Wang for China, Otani for the Japanese, and on Tubi TV, which by the way is free. You can download that app, and it's free in any country in the world. So download is cheap. By the way, there's a lot of fun stuff on it. Tubi, you can download it for your phone or for your tablet or for your smart TV. 6 a.m. So that's not too bad. You can have breakfast and watch Italy and Cuba.
Oh, watch my Italians get paddled by the Cubans.
And then the Czech Republic plays China at 10 p.m. also on Tubi TV. And Cuba plays two games in one day.
When does our continent start? Because like all of these games are either as you're going to sleep or like as you're waking up.
Yeah, let's go to the weekend.
Yeah, when are we getting like our continent on the board?
Yeah,
here?
well,
so
it's
I can
not,
watch maybe like a 4 in the afternoon
on Friday. On Friday, it's not. So okay, let's go to Saturday.
Yeah, I guess they're doing that side of the world first.
Here we go.
Then we get to go
Saturday. All right. Saturday begins at 5 in the morning with the Czech Republic and Japan. Then it's the Netherlands and Taipei.
So I'm up watching Premier League at that time.
There you go. So you can flip over.
I'm posting my plays for the day and then watch.
Noon is Puerto Rico and Nicaragua.
Okay.
That's pretty tough.
All right.
Colombia and Mexico at 2:30. Then in prime time, Dominican Republic and Venezuela. That's a heck of a start.
That's a prime timer.
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
I guess.
Well, Venezuela, Dominican.
I was going to say Venezuela. I don't think they have a bad team.
No, they don't. They just don't have a deep team. And of course, 9 o'clock on Fox. In a game played in Miami, it'll be USA makes their debut against Great Britain. All right. Czech Republic. The Czech Republic and Korea at 10 o'clock. And then 11 o'clock, Taipei and Cuba. So that's the so then you got a full day of baseball on Saturday.
When do my sorry Canadians go?
Okay. Yeah, we haven't heard it from them.
I was gonna say, like, the tournament's been going for a week and we haven't played yet by that point.
Tournament's been over. Let's see.
Every team's played 3 times and we haven't
gone. Wait, because we got the first game of Australia. Japan plays Australia on Sunday. Netherlands and Italy, Nicaragua and Israel.
That's like a soccer match.
Netherlands
and Italy.
Yeah, it's okay. Here you go. 3 o'clock on FS1 on Sunday. It's Great Britain and Canada.
Oh, maybe a team we can beat.
Canada, yeah. Venezuela and Puerto Rico. That ought to be it.
They did us a bit of a favor.
Yeah, they gave you solid on that. Mexico and the U.S. On that day, and Australia and Czechoslovakia. That one tops off the day at 11 o'clock. So that's on Sunday. Mark your calendar. 3 o'clock on Sunday. It's Great Britain.
Honestly, I was ready to like open up with Canada, US, just get a nice mercy rule paddling off the start and continue on. But doing us a bit of a favor. We got a chance to start 1-0.
There you go. Plenty of tickets available from what I can see here. And,
yeah, Foxy. That's literally my reaction when I saw Netherlands. Literally my reaction when I saw the Netherlands beat Panama this morning. Or no, not Panama, Cuba. Sorry, this morning. I was like, they know what a baseball is. Great Britain knows what a baseball is.
Great Britain thinks it's rounders. Okay, so
yeah, like my Italians know what a baseball is. My Italians know what a hockey puck is. Like that one was a huge revelation.
Great when the guy, a friend of mine, Doug Hoyt, once told me, because he's from Jamaica and he plays cricket, and Doug used to tell me that he goes, look, when the Jamaicans play ball, he goes, we're a low ball hitter. It's like, it's true. True. Definitely a low ball here.
Oh yeah.
So we've talked about PSG this afternoon. Anything else that's on the docket that you think is worth taking time?
Yeah, well, there's the million Europa League games tomorrow. And there's all the good ones. I don't know why they keep doing this. All the good ones are at like 12:45, and they did this last week too.
Yeah.
It was like I had 3 games I liked at 12:45, but could barely watch all of them. And then I hit the 3 o'clock games, and I didn't want to watch anything. I was like, these teams are crap. I don't even have a bet on these games.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's some interest. Sporting and Arsenal, because now we're getting, I guess, all the teams that had the first round bye, or the last round bye, or whatever, as the runner ups were playing the drop down teams from Champions League. But so now we're getting Sporting versus Arsenal. Arsenal's back in it now. We're getting Roma versus Real Sociedad, which is a game I would be surprised if there's even a goal at all.
We got a tweet from Chris King. I tweeted out the join us at 2:00 for today for we'll talk soccer, and we might sneak in a little college basketball. And Chris King said, if you guys are talking basketball, I'll sneak by tomorrow if you want me to, and drop a little knowledge on you. Nobody breaks down. I swear to God, nobody breaks down basketball like Chris. I mean, he is the man on that. And you and I, my friend, will be doing baseball here in the not too distant future.
Yeah, the good old baseball. I'm so excited for the season.
Yep, and it's so far. I mean, in spring training, it's been quiet. There hasn't been any real drama. It's only 2 weeks in, but hasn't been a lot of drama.
Yeah, I hear Vladdy might go play now. I guess his knee is feeling better, and we'll see.
Well, Bryce Harper showed up at spring training in Clearwater, which was a surprise. I mean, I think nobody expected. Now, I don't think anybody expects Bryce to play, but I think the fact that he's there and working out is probably a good thing for them. So
shows you still have some interest in the team.
Yeah, he's a team player, so he'll be there. And so far everybody's, as I said, it's been quiet on the Western Front. The big story this morning in sports, for reasons I have no idea why, was that the Baltimore Ravens signed Lamar Jackson to what is called an open franchise tag. Now,
I never even heard of this before I saw that yesterday.
Yeah. An open franchise tag means that he can negotiate with any team he wants while they keep him under a franchise tag. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, why would you do that? Okay. The theory of the case is this. If he doesn't sign a contract before the season starts, okay, then he will play for the paltry sum of $32.7 million. So, he'll get by for the rest of the time.
If that's what you want to call it.
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's paltry, I know, but he'll scrape by on 32.7. Anyway, so if they wanted to franchise him, okay, so he couldn't talk to any other teams, then his number would have been 53 or 54 million. So they saved about $20 million, give or take, by franchising him that way. I think they feel that no one is going to give him the number that he wants.
Well, they might be onto something, because right after they tagged him, didn't 5 teams come out? The Falcons, there was a bunch, I forget, and they all basically said no. and then it's just left the Raiders who are considering signing him.
Well, if he wants Deshaun Jackson type money, whereas I call it stupid money, look, it's the Cleveland Browns made a mistake that I hope the rest of sports, and specifically the NFL, doesn't do. And that's giving somebody who doesn't yet deserve it more money than they're worth. So,
yeah, they ruined the market.
Well, I mean, we can go all the way back to Alex Rodriguez when he signed that $250 million deal, with the Rangers. And then after this, after his career was over, Alex was, they asked him about it. He says, look, had I known what I know now, he said, I would have gone to play for a team that I wanted to play for, or they could have been competitive. Because he signed a $250 million contract, Texas couldn't afford to play any other players. Now, he didn't know at the time, but the Mets were second. The Mets bid was $175 million. They were, almost $100 million short of what Texas signed him for. But I think he could have, again, gotten by on $100 and some odd million and been with the Mets, and perhaps they would have, gotten to the playoffs. You never know. Heard Titans are looking to trade Henry. I wouldn't be surprised. Now,
you sound like a Titans fan, Foxy.
Yeah.
I've heard you mention them a few times now, and I know a Titans fan, so
a Titans fan.
You're coming across very similar, and if you're a Titans fan, I mean that's fine. I'm a Cardinals fan, so your team will never be worse than mine. But
they have run that man into the ground. Okay, so I think that he's on the back nine of his career.
Well, he's their whole offense at this point. I still think it would be bad to trade him. I get they're trying to capitalize probably on what they know is a short shelf life left, but I mean, what are you going to do for offense if you let him go?
Well, I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Let Malik Willis run the whole 90 yards himself?
I guess, because speed, I don't know. I mean, in the right offense, he'd be fine. If you don't have to, it's like Saquon Barkley, right? In the right offense, he's perfect. But you can't run Derrick Henry as much as Tennessee has the last 3 years and expect him, he can't carry the ball anywhere near. He's carrying the ball 30, 40 times a game.
No, I know. It's ridiculous. And it's just because he's not only fast, but he's a beast.
He's a physical,
it's like a brick wall coming at you at 100 miles an hour.
I have not seen anybody as physical a runner as him since Bo Jackson.
I watched him drag 3 defenders wrapped around him for 20 yards before a fourth guy came in and took him down.
The guy's got tree trunks for legs. I mean, he's just
you can't stop.
He's unstoppable.
But for the last 2 or 3 years, he's been my go-to in fantasy. Everybody always wants the shiny running back, but I'm like, I'm sticking with Derek.
The guy's never hurt. I mean, even when he's hurt, he's not hurt. I mean, he goes out there anyway.
Yeah, he gets a foot injury and he's back in the same year.
Right.
Now, who the hell does that at your position?
Especially, right? Where would Henry go? The Colts? Oh, please, that's torture.
They just sold their running back. They don't want a good running back. They had one and gave him away.
Don't. That's torture. Don't give him to the Colts. That's like exiling him to Gorky. No, you don't want to do that.
I wanted to know, what did you think of the Daniel Jones contract? 4 years, $160 million.
There's an old saying that sports loves to reward mediocrity, and I think that is absolutely the best explanation for that.
I got 2 words for you, Jim. Daniel Jones.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. And then the best was, so like, you were playing for your career last year. Like, you weren't on your 5th year of your rookie contract. Nobody wanted you. The Giants wanted to get rid of you because they hired a guy with a brain who managed to polish basically a massive turd into the playoffs.
Right.
Now you're like, give me $47 million a year. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, there's where Saquon Barkley. I mean, we were just talking about.
You know what? He earned it, if anything, though.
No. Yeah, you mean, yeah, I mean, look, he was manageable. He was a game manager. He's not a game winner, but he's a game manager. I gotta be careful because 3 floors above me, Cam Brown, who is a linebacker for the Giants' mother, lives, so I have to be careful how I get myself in trouble. Yeah, I mean, look, the Giants skated through. When it wasn't their offense, they got them there. I don't know. Again.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Their defense held that team together quite a bit.
If I were going to trade Henry, Foxy, the Colts would not be on my list. But I'll tell you who I would be looking to. I think I could get some value for him in Chicago. They got some players that I could use on offense there.
You know where I think he could go?
Where's that?
I got a notification today that the Cardinals are open to trading back their 3rd overall pick. Because I guess they're so set on Kyler Murray as their quarterback. They're like, we don't even need the 3rd overall pick. Not like we should draft maybe an offensive lineman or a defensive player, right? Like, let's just throw away the number 3 pick. But they haven't had a running back, David Johnson.
That would be a good fit.
Yeah, and I mean, like, what's his name? James Conner, I think it is.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good, but like, he's no Derrick Henry.
No.
I could see the Cardinals trading away their 3rd round. Pick for him.
I would think that if they traded the 3rd pick, which they could get Henry for that, then I would see that the backfield of having Henry spared by Connor, would be good, because Henry is not really a pass catcher. Connor is. So you could mix and match, and you could keep Kyler Murray from causing grief.
Well, that's what they need. When they got rid of Chase Edmonds, I thought that was really dumb. He was a big part of their offense the 1 year. Him and Connor were like a 1-2 punch. So I didn't.
You need 2 backs. You do. You can't get by with one. You need to.
Yeah, and if you get Henry and Connor, that's kind of like having 2.5.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You got a world-class guy, and not. I mean, James Conner's a legit back. I mean, he can. He was very good at Pitt, very good at Pittsburgh, and and has done well over in the desert. So yeah, that wouldn't be a bad if they're willing to trade the 3rd overall pick. Man,
They were willing to trade down, which they've done in the past. Like, well, yeah. I guess trade to like maybe 15 or something.
Oh, so they don't want to trade the pick; they want to trade down.
Yeah, they want to trade down, but like, the way that organization has gone the last few years, I could see them just trading away the 3rd pick if they're getting a player like Henry, right? And then you're not going
to draft the guy better than Henry.
That's what I mean, right? You're getting Derrick Henry. You have a bad offensive line that you haven't fixed in years, and a young quarterback, so that takes stress.
What if you do this? You trade. If I'm the Titans, I trade you Henry for the 1st pick, your 1st round pick. I trade you a 2nd round pick. So you get Henry in a 2nd round pick.
There you go. Or give us your 1st round pick, which is, I don't know what are the Titans actually?
I don't know.
Because
they got to be in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, I was going to say they almost made the playoffs, so
Yeah,
they're
they screwed themselves that way.
yeah, they're going to be like a 15 or something,
Yeah,
which I could see the Cardinals taking that because they did it in the year they drafted Josh Rosen. They traded down.
Do you trade your? I mean, I wouldn't trade my fifth. No, I would give Henry. I wouldn't trade him my first round pick and Henry. I would trade him Henry and a second or even a third. You know, because that I can honestly concede the Cardinals making that trade.
No, I can't. That's what I mean. Like, it's not even a matter of like, oh, is it practical? It's just, can you see the Cardinals doing it? Absolutely.
Yeah. I can't see the 49ers doing it, but yeah, I can see the Cardinals.
I can see the Cardinals. They traded down and then picked Josh Rosen like a few years ago. That was the year they traded like down a few spots, and like they made it worse for themselves because by then like Josh Allen was gone. All the good quarterbacks that year were gone by then.
Well, you see that happen often with usually with the bad organizations. Detroit used to do that constantly. It's like, we're gaining picks. You're like, well, yeah, you're gaining picks, but if you're not going to pick good players, what the hell's the use of gaining picks?
Unless you're Cleveland, they always use their picks.
Yeah.
They just didn't pick right.
Right. And the choice. I used to love there's some general managers who are good. Pittsburgh usually, that organization usually doesn't. It's hard to find an organization that doesn't get value for picks better than them. I'm not saying that every pick is a star. That's not true. But most of their picks are staying with the team and play with the team. And, that they knew Kenny Pickett when they picked them. Now, benefit of Kenny Pickett actually practicing in the same facility as they practice in certainly helps the scouting out a lot. But they
don't even need to book a flight.
Well, and James Conner. I mean, he played at Pitt and he played for Pittsburgh. So yeah, they usually do that, and they usually get rid of the guys whenever the time is right. The James Conner thing, I know they didn't want to lose him, but they did, and the Cardinals got a good guy there. But yeah, Derrick Henry would be a good fit.
Yeah, I just I could see it. Like they went and hired the Philadelphia Eagles defensive coordinator as their head coach.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't have head coaching experience.
No, he does not.
So once again, we just took a shot on a guy from college football. And before that, we had Steve Wilkes for the 1 year. And before that, we had I don't even remember. I think was it
Bruce?
Was it left? Yeah, but was it Leftwich after Bruce left originally? I think he might even coach for you. Anyway, we've the last 5 years have been like literally take a chance on a brand new head coach. Hasn't worked out. So,
well, I mean, I would think that the Phillies, the Philadelphia defensive coordinator wouldn't be a bad head coach. So, we'll see how that
What
works.
do you do? I would like, as a Cardinals fan, after years of torture, I just want to start off on the right foot.
Yeah.
With an experienced coach.
Well, they didn't do that.
That's all I'm asking, right? Like, it's nothing against Gannon. Okay, I'm sure he's a great guy, great coach, but it's just the fact that like you're gonna put us through another year of a guy who's learning the ropes.
Well, they had a chance. I mean, Doug Peterson, they could have got Doug Peterson. They could have gotten.
Would have loved Doug Peterson.
There's a lot of guys they could have got that they did, who ended up at different places.
It's time to sell the team.
But we'll see. I mean, I hope that there should be the D coordinator at Philly should be a good guy. The problem with it, the problem is that organization is they've got Bidwell problems, and that's their problem.
They're set up to fail.
Basically, they failed in every city they've been in. It's that's an ownership that goes back into the 40s. The Bidwells.
It's
own
just
the team forever.
systemic failure.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's the problem with the Colts, by the way, Foxy. Could I see the Colts making a deal for Henry? Yeah, I could. But what are you going to get? What's the Colts got that you?
Oh, actually, I didn't even think about that. Why would they trade him to a team in the same division?
Right.
Didn't even think
And you're
about
going to
that
see it.
aspect.
Yeah, you're going to.
Yeah, twice.
He's going to run it down your throat for what? Trade him to Jacksonville to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have your GM get fired again because it's gonna be like, why did you trade that guy? It's gonna be like the Eagles and AJ Brown all over again. Why the hell did you trade that guy away? He just ran 200 yards on your ass.
Right. And scored 2 touchdowns in the process. So, he made somebody's fantasy football team a winner this afternoon.
Matt Ryan didn't have to throw a single pass and they still beat you. What the hell?
Right. Well, is Matt Ryan back?
I don't know. Like, he's not retired, is he?
I don't know. He should have been.
He should have been 2 years ago, but like,
I don't know.
We'll see.
That's crazy.
We'll see. There's a good chance Aaron Rodgers is going to stay in green, just not for the Packers.
Yeah.
Well,
if you remember, they the Packers did that once before. The Packers traded Brett Favre to the Jets.
Oh, was it to the Jets? I always thought because he was on the Vikings.
He traded for the Jets. Then the Jets traded him to Minnesota.
Okay. So they have a history.
There's no Packers going to trade him to Minnesota. That's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah, the same division. Again, with the same division thing.
Mm-hmm. No, they didn't even they weren't going to have him in the same conference.
Yeah, and that's another thing, right? Like Russell Wilson had to go to the Broncos because didn't he want to go to an NFC team? And the Seahawks were just like, it's not happening.
Well, I think that Seahawks thought, and I got to give Pete Carroll credit for this, that he didn't see Russell Wilson succeeding in Denver, or he would never have traded him. Because, again, you're trading him in your division and in your conference. So, not in your conference, but in your I think that he thought that Russell Wilson wasn't gonna lead them to the promised land, and that was, he wasn't gonna get grief. I thought Geno Smith's contract was pretty fair contract.
I was gonna say he's getting like $52 million this year. Right. They gave it all to him up front. They're like, thanks for last year. Here you go. Hopefully the next 3 years work out.
Yeah, it's definitely a front-loaded contract. So
good for him though. I mean, like, hey, that guy went through hell as a backup for years. So good to see him finally.
He didn't do badly in Buffalo in the time that he played.
Well, even when when he started on the Jets, right?
Yeah,
yeah, he went through the New York carousel, and then he's got to deal with that media too, which was terrible.
And the Jets are just awful. I mean, that organization is awful.
Set up for failure there too. You're in a city where the media is going to be twice as hard on you, and you have a bad team. Like, right. Good luck making.
I'll tell you what. Okay, now that we're trading Henry, trade him to the Jets.
Yeah, they're willing to dish out all kinds of money.
They'll give you all the draft choices you want.
They'll literally be like, I know. How about we don't trade? Just we'll pay you and we'll pay him. And just give them to us,
just
right?
Sell them to us.
Let's do a soccer deal here. It's $100 million, and
there's a transfer fee. Yeah,
literally
the first football player to get a transfer fee.
You know what? The Jets would probably love that. They would probably, if they could just buy players without having to lose anything, they would probably love that. They'd be like, there's no way we can lose this year.
Yeah.
Just buy everybody up.
Mean green. Yeah. No. Oh, those poor fans of the Jets. Oh, man. So,
the Tom Brady rumors. That guy is just
that is not gonna happen.
He's always trying to find a way to get back in the media somehow. Just have him talk about him somehow.
It's like, stop it. Just leave I don't know what's going on. I saw that this morning. I'm like, oh, please.
Well, even he came out and was like, because it was somebody close to him who said
Right.
that he's not done, and then he came out and was like, guys, I don't have time for the NFL anymore. I'm too good for the NFL now.
Well,
like 2 months ago, you couldn't pry me away from it, but now I don't have the time.
I think he realized that, you know what, I can make money, I can live and get up when I want to. I don't have to go to practice.
I can maybe even win my wife back now.
Yeah, he's in the same neighborhood.
I guess ex-wife.
He's in the same neighborhood in Miami. Gets up.
I mean, you have a family, right? Like, go spend time with the kids. Try and win your ex-wife back. Like, was it worth it for that 1 year? Was it really worth it for the 1 year, the 7-10 season or whatever? Like, come on.
Yeah, that was
8-9, I think.
But it's the rumors have been, what's he going to do with Fox? Who cares? I mean, he's got $350 million.
I heard, actually, that was another thing. I read a story that he's thinking of turning down the Fox now that he wants to back out of that to be a stand-up comedian.
If he backed out of it, that would be a stand-up comedian.
The look on your face was like, this guy is a joke. He wants to be a stand-up comedian. Are you serious right now?
Well, here's the thing. He's got that money with Fox. It doesn't say Fox Sports. It's Fox, okay? He could be whatever he wants it. If he doesn't want it, they didn't write that. In his contract does not say he's got to be the color analyst on Sunday football.
He's the weatherman.
So yeah, exactly.
On the news channel. On Fox News, he's the weatherman now.
He could be Ron Burgundy, right? He could anchor the news.
You know what? I would watch. The sad part is I would watch an hour of Tom Brady anchoring the news, even if it was at 2 a.m. I would watch.
It may be at 2 a.m.
Just to see what he has to say. Just to see.
I think that he got the bug of acting and producing movies with 80 for Brady.
Yeah.
Right? And I think he thought at that point, you know what? This is, the guy who had the smart, deal was Peyton Manning. Peyton is way smarter than any football player in a long time. He knows how to sell everything.
Guy's in every commerciol. He's got his family, not even him. Like, it's like, you got to put me and the family in.
Yeah, we got my brother, and
get Eli and Arch in it, and then we got a deal.
We'll bring them all in. Gotta love that. We're bringing a family. He's got the Manning cast on television. Can't go wrong with that. I mean, his
show, that one show, Peyton's Places or whatever. Yeah. He does some funny stuff. The one they did with Eli going to Penn State as a. What was the name? Chad Powers or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, they do some funny stuff. I will say he's a good businessman.
He's a good businessman. The thing that he did with the country music guy.
Blake Shelton.
Yeah,
Was it Blake Shelton? I think it was Blake Shelton.
No, well, he was on the tour bus, and they're driving around the country with that. It was for Nationwide Insurance.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. So
he's friends with Blake Shelton.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen them together somewhere else.
So I mean, he's a smart businessman. He knows what he does best, and he knows what he likes to do, and he's capitalized on it, and good on him. I mean, he's been very good at it. Brady would, he could teach a master's class to Brady on what to do if Brady was. Because the good thing when Brady got out of New England was people saw he had a personality. And so, that part of it went well.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I will say that.
If I were him, I'd grab Gronk and, figure out a way to do some stuff.
Do a podcast. Everybody's doing a podcast these days.
Well, he's done one. He does one. He does one with Larry Fitzgerald.
You know what? I know the one you're talking about. They show episodes of it on TV here sometimes, but he should do like a Gronk and Tom podcast.
Well, Gronk would be I don't think he could handle Gronk. I mean, because Gronk would get him off. I mean, that's the thing with Gronk is Gronk brings out the Tom Brady. I don't think Tom Brady wants everybody to see, which is
I could see that.
Like the crazy Brady.
But like it's funny because Gronk is just putting on a character himself. He's not that crazy in like reality.
No, I mean we should have Rock Riley come and talk to us about his Gronk stories. Gronk, there were certain guys in the media that Gronk liked in the Tampa Bay area, and he would definitely, just lampoon them, and do something, and he'd photobomb. They'd be doing a stand-up report with somebody, and he would push the guy out of the way and say, "You forgot to talk to me." It's like,
Well, you know who was the same way? Marshawn Lynch.
Oh yeah.
For years with his no comment to the media, like you would have never known that guy had a personality, and now you see him on Amazon. It's just
well, he's hilarious.
I've seen him in shows, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's done a few acting cameos. So
you know who came out as a star on that Prime pregame show was the quarterback that played for everybody,
Matt Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick.
Fitzmagic.
It's like everywhere he goes, "Well, I used to play here," and then they go, "Well," and Marshawn Lynch goes, "Where didn't you play?" And he's like, "Well, that's true."
You know what? Every time I watch that, time I would watch that halftime show, my mom would look at me and go like, "He's hitting on Carissa." He's always just like leaning into her way.
Well, look, anything's possible. I'm not.
Matt Fitzpatrick. I thought Tony Gonzalez did a good job on the.
Well, Tony was the pro. Tony was the pro.
The Hall of Famer. He was the legend. He was the certified legend on that panel. Everybody else was just like, "Yeah, we played a few years ago," but him, it's like, "Buddy, I set records."
Well, when he went to Kansas City and he dunked on the goalpost like he did whenever he used to play there, when he grabbed the ball and go that jump up and do that, it's like you're thinking, all right, he's going to be tomorrow. He's not going to have any hamstrings left, but that guy's in good shape even now. So there you go. So where are we in the scoreboard? We'll check. I'll check the basketball. You check the soccer.
Yeah, the soccer's about to start. We got T-minus 1 minute for these Champions League games. So
okay, and I will bring you up to speed on the games, the early games. George Mason and Richmond are at half, and I hope you had the under. It's 25-21 Richmond at the half.
Oh my gosh.
Colorado Fresno State in the Mountain West tournament. Halftime 36-29 for Colorado State winning Fresno. Davidson beat St. Bonaventure today 65-54, and the Qs got beat by Wake Forest 77-74. Those are your finals, and those are your partials. And Pittsburgh leads Georgia Tech 19-12 early in the first half of that game in the ACC tournament. So there you go. That's our scoreboard from college basketball today. And we'll let these people get out of here so they can watch PSG. And I know you're going to want to watch PSG as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Screw my team.
And Foxy's going to want to watch PSG, and everybody else is going to want to watch PSG. So we'll see that. Well, we will be back tomorrow with, a list of games that will be good. And tomorrow we'll have some good college basketball games. Not to be confused with today's games, which definitely were not good. But we'll be back and have some fun with that. Until then, Amadeus, you got anything you want to touch base before we get out of here?
No, just enjoy the games today.
All right. Then we'll see you soon, guys. Tomorrow, 2:00. Bye.